This program is brought to you by cable franchise fees and generous donations from viewers like you.
Hello and welcome to the Amherst Weekly Report with Amherst Media. I'm Abby Gracie.
And I'm Asia Reed. The Merry Maple celebration took place on Amherst North Common, where a large tree was lit for the holidays. The Friday event was the first live and in-person lighting since last December. It began at 4 p.m. with an open house at the Central Fire Station and wagon rides provided by Muddy Brook Farm. At 4:30, holiday songs were sung by the middle school chorus, who performed up until the official lighting of the tree. Santa Claus and the UMass Minuteman Marching Band arrived shortly after the tree was lit. The event was a part of the December 3rd and 4th Merry Days promotion, where downtown stores such as the Toy Box and Amherst Books had a 20% off deal. The Amherst Improvement District received a $1,000 donation from the CAIA to purchase brand new lights for the tree. To continue the holiday spirit throughout December, Amherst Boy Scouts will be selling Christmas trees every Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday at Kendrick Park. The Scouts will be helping customers trim and load their trees onto vehicles.
A few weeks ago, the Amherst Town Council approved the creation of a second parking garage in downtown Amherst. There have now been a series of zoning changes that have continued to make this creation a reality. Multiple Amherst citizens have given appeals against the parking garage, but the Town Council continued to hold the first readings on the zoning changes last Monday. Many people who live in the North Prospect Street neighborhood objected to the overlay district to build the garage between North Pleasant and North Prospect Streets during a 90-minute commentary period. The rezoning process is being supported by two councilors whose terms will end in January, so critics are accusing them of going along with this process just to leave it in a month. The Parking Facilities Overlay District would not interfere with the Neighborhoods Overlay District, and there would be guidelines to use the space as only a parking garage and nothing else.
Republican Governor of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker, has announced that he will not be seeking a third term. Baker said at a press conference that it was a difficult decision to make, as he loves both the people and experiences that came along with his career. During his second term, his political agenda was set aside, and responding to the pandemic became his priority. He quickly implemented plans for requiring face masks, closing schools, and non-essential businesses. But with his success also came downfalls. Massachusetts experienced one of the deadliest outbreaks in a nursing home in the entire nation. With Baker's terms also came the discussion of Trump. Republican Massachusetts governors have a passive leaning towards a moderate or progressive wing of the party. But Baker did not follow in these same footsteps and refused to vote for Trump in both 2016 and in his re-election bid. Baker's exit means the race for a new governor will begin next year. A number of Democratic candidates have announced they will be running, including former state senator Ben Downing and Harvard professor Danielle Allen. For Republican candidates, Geoff Diehl, a former state representative, will be running.
Amherst is seeking its first director for its new Diversity, Equity, and Inclusions Department. They are looking for, quote, a dynamic leader to develop, implement, and monitor a strategic plan that will advance a diverse, equitable, and inclusive culture throughout the town. This new director will also read over bylaws, policies, and procedures that the town could implement to ensure that they are rid of systematic racism and discrimination against any group. They will also serve as human rights director. If you have experience leading a team, recognizing differences among groups, and have advocated for human rights, you are encouraged to apply on the career portal on the Town of Amherst website. The annual salary will be $74,895 to $100,652, depending on experience and qualifications.
The Department of Public Works is proposing to the Town Council that a section of North Pleasant Street is turned into a one-way street. The one-way street will accommodate more parking at the end of downtown Amherst. The proposal is a result of the new playground at Kendrick Park and an increase in families visiting the area. The plan will allow for 32 parking spots on the west side of the road. The Transportation Advisory Committee is suggesting that a new sidewalk is built and that the angled parking be used on the Kendrick side. This would require back-end parking, which is safer for families, especially with its proximity to a playground. The Town Services and Outreach Committee met last Thursday via Zoom to discuss the plan.
The Amherst Business Improvement District requested that every Saturday in downtown Amherst there will be free parking starting after Thanksgiving and going until Christmas. This is in celebration of Small Business Saturdays and has been approved by the Amherst Town Manager. Free parking is now available in all lots and at all meters for the following upcoming Saturdays, December 11th, December 18th, and December 25th. There are still certain time limits at specific spots, as well as designated handicap parking spaces and loading zones to be aware of.
A portion of vacant land in Hadley is being eyed for a new softball field. The Hadley Select Board voted unanimously in favor of the Park and Recreation Department's plan to construct a softball diamond, which would be the first dedicated softball field in town. Softball players do not currently have their own field and are forced to use the baseball diamonds that already see a large amount of use. The project therefore would allow the players to have a diamond to call their own that they could use at any time, instead of having to request playing time on the Cal Ripken League fields, which is their current method of operation. The project will be spearheaded by Greg Lesage, the new Parks and Recreation Director. Any maintenance to the field would not be added to the Department of Public Works responsibilities and would rather be done by families of the players. The town would be providing the land south of the North Hadley Fire Substation on River Drive, but according to Park and Recreation member Jim Shea, would not have to provide any money towards the cost of construction.
Human Rights Day commemorations will begin tonight and go until tomorrow. There will be a candlelight vigil and a reading done by the Amherst Town Council starting at 6 p.m. tonight near the Mary Maple on the North Common. The reading is a proclamation written by the Town Council which states, quote, that each one of us everywhere and at all times is entitled to the full range of human rights, and that is every person's responsibility to uphold them. They bind us together as a global community. Following the proclamation, there will be a reading of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted by the United Nations in 1948. In the Jones Library's Woodbury Room on Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m., there will be a Human Rights Day remembrance, focusing on the rights of prisoners, women, and children. Local Amnesty International members will be speaking, including Mohammed Al-Ghadi, an advocate for human rights after he endured torture in the ghost house prisons in Sudan, Alexis Strenko, a U.S. Air Force veteran who is an activist against child trafficking and child soldiering, and Emily Gribko, the co-president of the Amnesty chapter at Amherst Regional High School, who has been an advocate for women's gender, sexuality, and identity-based rights. There will also be a virtual human rights art exhibit by the students at Amherst Regional Middle School, which can be viewed on the Jones Library and Amherst Media's websites. And now here's Hannah Goldstein filling in for Tyler Baraldi with this week's sports report.
Thanks, Abby. UMass men's basketball found itself in a battle against Harvard over the weekend, which saw the Minutemen emerge successful 87-77, in no small part due to the scoring efforts of Noah Fernandez and TJ Weeks, dropping 24 and 21 points respectively. This puts UMass basketball record at 6-3 as winter break draws near, with their next matchup set to take place on December 11th at 4:30 against North Texas on the road. UMass women's basketball squeaked by with a win against UMass Lowell last weekend, 58-53, before facing their second defeat of the season on Wednesday against BC, losing 64-56. Sam Breen proved to be the best player on the court in both games, leading the team in scoring and continuing her impressive season thus far. The Minutewomen currently stand at 9-2 and will go on to play Columbia on the road at 2 p.m. this Saturday. The Amherst College Mammoths men's basketball team finished off with 2 commanding victories before their 3-week hiatus, defeating St. Elizabeth University 73-51 and Springfield College 75-61. Their next game will be against SUNY Old Westbury on the road at 1 p.m. on December 28th. Amherst College women's team has remained undefeated entering their break, standing at 7-0 after beating Wesleyan University 78-61. Rhea Patel was the standout performer of the game, dropping 27 points on 9 for 12 shooting, ensuring the Mammoths remain the team to beat in the NESCAC. Their next game will be against Whittier College in the Las Vegas tournament at 2 p.m. on December 28th. Minuteman hockey stands at 8-4-2 on the year after a weekend series with UMass Lowell, which saw the flagship campus go to a 4-4 draw before finally achieving a 3-2 victory the following night. In what has become a common occurrence so far this season, both games came down to the wire and kept fans on the edge of their seats throughout a midweek matchup against Merrimack, provided a similar nail-biter, though in the end, UMass would win in overtime against their classic rival. Following this matchup, the Minutemen will enter a much-needed break, with their next game being a weekend series on the road against Union starting December 31st at 4 p.m. Back to you, Abby.
Thank you for tuning into the Amherst Weekly Report with Amherst Media. I'm Abby Gracie.
And I'm Asia Reed, and thank you, Abby, for all of your hard work during this semester, and good luck next semester.
Thank you so much. Okay. 3, 2, 1. And here's Hannah Goldstein filling in for Tyler Baraldi for this week's sports report. And thank you for tuning into the Amherst Weekly Report with Amherst Media. I'm Abby Gracie.
And I'm Asia Reed. And thank you, Abby, for all of your hard work and good luck next semester.
Thank you so much. We'll see you after the break.
God. Okay, wait. What if I... Exactly. We just gotta hurry up and do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, do I count myself in? Okay.
Okay, you're good.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. And now here's Hannah Goldstein filling in for Tyler Baraldi with this week's sports report. And thank you for tuning into the Amherst Weekly Report with Amherst Media. I'm Abby Gracie.
And I'm Asia Reed. And thank you, Abby, for all of your hard work and good luck next semester.
Thank you so much. We'll see you after the break.